Cable One is a Tier 2 cable operator headquartered in Phoenix. Been around for a long time, privately held. Now they just announced they're going public in 2015. We've been working with them for just under a year. Actually started by winning a big SMARTnet renewal. And after that, we invested hard to grow the business. And that's what it's been about the last 6 to 9 months.
Cable One invited Cisco to a meeting to discuss the upgrade of their existing architecture. So as a Cisco partner, we were there with Cisco, Jason Miller specifically, and we discussed what it was that they would require for an architecture upgrade. They were moving some of their existing Cisco equipment to some of the latest and greatest 3G 60s, 3G SPAs, and some other newer equipment that wasn't quite yet available that we were going to discuss with them.
So there's two main things that were coming together in the last year. One is Cable One saw more and more video traffic coming onto their network from the likes of Hulu and Netflix and a variety of other content providers. And then in tandem with that, they're shifting organizationally from being a video-centric service provider to being a broadband services provider, where speed and performance will mean more than anything. So as those two things came together, they stepped back and said, hey, we've got to get ahead of this. We need to aggressively invest in the capacity and robustness of our network, and that's exactly what we've been engaged with them on for the last 6 to 9 months.
They were buying a number of licenses, downstream channel licensing for the equipment that they were buying. Cisco had not yet released the 6G SPA, only the 3G SPA. They went ahead and purchased licenses for the 6G SPA based on the conversations that we had, understanding that the 6G SPA capabilities were going to be available in the fall. So ahead of time, based on some of the work that we did with Sean and Brad, we were able to identify this need for them, and they in turn bought the equipment ahead of time.
Once they purchased the hardware, they also needed help making sure that they can get this all up and get it all to work. And a lot of times that's where I think we really complement Cisco. So we sent some of our cable guys out into their regional systems, whether down in Columbus, Mississippi, up in North Dakota, and worked hand in hand with their field engineering organization that needed to understand the technology that was being deployed, how it was going to be tied into their existing infrastructure, and what site readiness, would mean so that this stuff could flow well.
When they realized that they could maximize the number of channels on the 3G 60, the number of channels on the 3G SPA with a 6G upgrade, and then also using the DS384 within the RF Gateway 10, they decided to go with a 24-channel downstream bonding group. Now, the significance of that is that Cable One is now able to offer a full gigabit Ethernet downstream service as a result of going with 24 channels in their downstream bonding groups as opposed to 16 channels.
So we asked Cable One for a quote about their experience with GDT that we could share with Cisco, and we loved what we got back.
Since GDT took over our SMARTnet renewal, we've seen GDT pull in talented resources to assist us with operational issues, while also focusing on the future of our Cisco network. We still have the full support of our direct Cisco team. That hasn't changed. GDT provides additional resources on top of that, improving our overall experience.
In the customer's words, they reinforce that we've improved their day-to-day Cisco experience, while at the same time we have found ways to plug into key projects they have to make sure they continue to quickly and effectively expand their Cisco footprint. They still have the full support of the Cisco organization. None of that changes. GDT simply comes alongside that to provide additional resources, all focused on delivering an exceptional Cisco experience.